Hello guys, I played 100 games of Dead by Daylight, but this year it's different. I changed it up a bit. In the last 2 years I played 100 games and gave in statistics for the matches I have played for both Killer and Survivor. But this year, due to me not playing Dead by Daylight as much, I only focused on gathering statistics for Killers since I couldn't play 100 games of solo alone. I do not have the mental capacity for this. All these games were played during the Halloween event as well. So the statistics go as following. I will be telling you guys about which killers appeared most, what perks were chosen, what realms and maps were present, and other statistics which are the offerings, the add-ons, and average gen completion and average kill rates. But before I start, I would respectfully like to ask you guys to consider subscribing. It's free and it would help a ton. Making such videos is something I enjoy doing, so I would really appreciate you if you do so. For the second point, I used the packs offered by Ripper2618 in this video called Neon Nebula from Nightlight. So I really want to thank them for their designs, and I will attach the link below so that you yourself can download the pack as well if you like it. And now we start with the statistics. I will start with the killers that were played mostly in these 100 games. So out of those 100 games, the killers chosen mostly from highest to lowest are: with 9 appearances we have Nemesis, with 7 appearances we have the Legion, with 6 appearances we have Wesker, for 5 appearances we have the Yoni, Wraith, Clown, Deathslinger, Blight, the Knight and Skull Merchant. With 4 appearances we have Trapper, Huntress and Onryo. With 3 appearances we have Myers, Doctor and Xenomorph. With 2 appearances we have Hillbilly, Nurse, Hag, Nightmare, Spirit, Ghostface, Executioner and the Dredge. And with 1 appearance we have Leatherface, Plague, Demogorgon, Cenobite, the Artist and the Singularity. And finally, with 0 appearances we have the Pig, the Twins, and the Trickster. The list of all the killers combined will be shown on the screen right now. Up next, I will talk about the perk selections in these 100 games that were chosen from killers. This part of the video will be divided into 2 parts, the first being the top 10 perks chosen during these 100 games and then showing all 400 perks. And the second part will be comparing the top 10 perks to Dead by Daylight's own statistics that were made from April 27th till August 5th. But of course, comparing my 100 games to the hundreds of thousands of games is a limitation, alongside the time period being too small compared to Dead by Daylight's statistics. Mine being from October 26th till November 5th, and Dead by Daylight being from April 27th till August 5th. But now that we got this out of the way, we can start by showing the top 10 perks that were brought into the trial from killers during the 100 games, starting with: for second and first place comes Jolt, and Pop Goes the Weasel with 24 appearances each. For third place we have Lethal Pursuer with 23 appearances. For 4th place and 5th we have Nowhere to Hide and Deadlock with 15 appearances each. For 6th, 7th and 8th place we have Sloppy Butcher, Save the Best for Last and Scorchoak Pain Resonance with 14 appearances each. For 9th and 10th place comes Barbecue and Chili and Hex Noad with 13 appearances each. All remaining perks will be shown on the screen right now. In order to complete this part of the video, I will now compare the 100 game statistics I made to the statistics given by behavior. The comparison will be shown on the screen. On the left side you have my stats, and on the right side you'll be able to see Dead by Daylight. In a very not so beautifully presented way, we can start with saying that Jolt remains the number 1 perk, which is mostly used. Sloppy Butcher got a decrease in usage from 2 to 6. Pain Resonance got a decrease in usage as well, from 3 to 8. Pop increased in usage from rank 4 to rank 2. Barbecue and Chili got a decrease in usage from rank 5 to 9. Lethal Pursuer got an increase from 6 to 3, Corrupt Intervention is no longer in the top 10, Nowhere to Hide got an increase from 8 to 4, Save the Best for Last got an increase as well from rank 9 to 7, and Noed remains at rank 10. Up next, I will talk about average kill rates and average generator completion. During these 100 games, I have seen that killers manage to get 0 kills 20 times, 1 kill 18 times, 2 kills 13 times, 3 kills 24 times, and 4 kills 25 times. Which means, if we can say a win for a killer is getting 3 to 4 kills, and a loss is 1 to 2 kills, while 3 being a tie, killers won 49 times, lost 38 times, and tied 13 times. I would also like to add my math input on this. If 0 kills happened 20 times, that's 80 survivors who escaped. If 1 kill happened 18 times, that's 54 survivors who escaped. If 2 kills happened 13 times, that's 26. And if 3 kills happened 24 times, that means 24 escapes happened. And finally, for the easiest one, if 4 kills happened 25 times, that means 0 survivors escaped. Which brings us to a total of 184 escapes out of 400 survivors. So the killer managed to kill 216 survivors during these 100 games. Next, for average generator completion during these 100 games, I have witnessed and been a part of a team that has finished 0 gens once due to a DC from a killer, 1 gen 4 times, 2 gens 7 times, 3 gens 20 times, 4 gens 18 times, and 5 gens 50 times. Which means we managed as a team to finish 4 to 5 generators 68 times, which is fairly considered to be a win for survivors. 0 to 2 gens were done 12 times, and 3 gens being considered as a tie have been done 20 times. Up next, we have 3 parts of the video remaining, the first being what offerings were brought in during these 100 games, as well as which add-ons were brought in from the killers, and the third being what maps and realms appeared mostly. For offerings, we will try to keep it as simple as possible. In these 100 games, I have witnessed 100 offerings being bought into the trial. Going from highest to lowest, the offerings used are Arcane Dowsing Rod with 50 appearances, Terror Misu with 9 appearances, Survivor Pudding with 6 appearances, Ebony Memento Mori with 5 appearances, Bloody Party Streamers, Putrid Oak, and RPT Badge with 2 appearances each, and the remaining offerings that appeared once are Tanager Wreath, I don't even know how to say it, but Ardent Tanager Wreath, Devout Tanager Wreath, Ardent Spotted Owl Wreath, Cypress Memento Mori, Ivory Memento Mori, 5th Year Anniversary Cake, Black Ward, Clear Regent, and Devout Raven Wreath. That was hard. If you add them all together, you would realize that there are 9 offerings missing, and that's because 9 killers decided to go into the trial without bringing any offering with them. Up next, we have a more difficult part of the video, and it is talking about the add-ons that were chosen per killer. Going from highest used killer in these 100 games to the lowest, we start off with the Nemesis. I have faced Nemesis 9 times, and the add-ons I've seen in these 9 games are Mikhail's Eye was brought 5 times, Marvin's Blood was brought 3 times, Blight Serum and Brian's Intestine was brought 2 times each, Tyrant Gore, Admin's Wristband, Depleted Ink Ribbon, T-Virus Sample, Broken Recovery Coin, and Eerie Umbrella Badge were brought 1 time each. Up next we have the Legion, who appeared 7 times, and the add-ons I've seen in these 7 games are Iridescent Button was brought 3 times, Friendship Bracelet and Smiley Face Pin were brought 2 times each, Defaced Smiley Pin, Joey's Mixtape, Blight Serum, Fuming Mixtape, Julie's Mixtape, Never Sleep Pills, and Scratch Ruler were brought 1 time each. Up next we have Wesker, who appeared 6 times, and the add-ons I've seen in these 6 games are Leather Gloves were brought 2 times, Lab Photo, Unicorn Medallion, Red Herb, Portable Safe, Loose Crank, Green Herb, Video Conference Device, Egg Gold were brought 1 time each, and 2 add-on slots were empty. Up next we have the Yoni, who appeared 5 times, and the add-ons I've seen in these 5 games are Wooden Oni Mask and Lion Fang were brought 2 times each, Yamoka Sashimono, Paper Latch, Cracked Sakazuki, Blackened Toenail, Akito Crutch, and Splintered Hull were brought 1 time each. Up next we have the Wraith, who appeared 5 times as well. The add-ons I've seen in these 5 games are Bone Clapper was brought 2 times, Blind Warrior White, Swift Hunt Mud, The Ghost Suit, Blink White, and Shadow Dance Blood were all brought 1 time each, and the remaining 3 add-on slots were empty. Up next we have the Clown, who appeared 5 times, and the add-ons I've seen in these 5 games are Cheap Gin Bottle was brought 2 times, Robin Feather, Fingerless Parade Gloves, Garish Makeup Kit, Cigar Box, Ether 15 Volume, Sticky Soda Bottle, and Thick Cork Stopper were brought 1 time each, and 1 add-on slot was empty. Up next we have Deathslinger, who appeared 5 times, and the add-ons I've seen in these 5 games are Modified Ammo Belt and Warden's Key were brought 2 times each, Spit, Polish Rag, Blight Serum, Tin Oil Can, Chewing Tobacco, Honey Locust Thorns were brought 1 time each, and 1 add-on slot was empty. Up next we have the Blight, who appeared 5 times. The add-ons I've seen in these 5 games are Umbra Salts were brought 4 times, Blighted Crow was brought 2 times, Shredded Notes, Plague Bile, Compound 21, Canker Thorn were brought 1 time each. Up next we have the Knight, who appeared 5 times, and the add-ons I've seen in these 5 games are Map of the Realm was brought in 4 times, Call to Arms and Dried Horse Meat were brought in 2 times each, and 2 add-on slots were empty. Up next we have Skull Merchant, who appeared 5 times, and the add-ons I've seen in these 5 games are Brown Noise Generator was brought in 3 times, Adaptive Lighting was brought in 2 times, Low Power Mode, Randomized Strobes, Loose Screw, Ultrasonic Speaker, and High Power Floodlight was brought in 1 time each. Up next we have Trapper, who appeared 4 times, and the add-ons I've seen in these 4 games are Trapper's Sack, Bloody Coil, and Fastening Tools were brought in 2 times each, Makeshift Trap, and Tension Spring were brought in 1 time each. Up next we have Huntress, who appeared 4 times, and the add-ons I've seen in these 4 games are Flower Babushka was brought in 2 times, Soldier's Putty, Iridescent Head, Rose Root, Deerskin Gloves, and Oak Haft appeared 1 time each, and 1 add-on slot was empty. Up next we have the Onryo, who appeared 4 times, and the add-ons I've seen in these 4 games are Tape Editing Tech, Distorted Photo, Bloody Fingernails, Ring Drawing were all brought 1 time each, and 4 offering slots were empty. Up next we have Myers, who appeared 3 times, and the add-ons I've seen in these 3 games are Scratch Mirror was brought in 2 times, Blight Serum, J. Myers Memorial, Lock of Hair, and Boyfriend's Memo were brought in 1 time each. Up next we have the Doctor, who appeared 3 times, and the add-ons I've seen in these 3 games are Iridescent Queen and Restraint Carter's Note were brought in 1 time each, and 4 offering slots were empty. Next up we have the Xenomorph, who appeared 3 times, and the add-ons I've seen in these 3 games are Parker's Headband was brought in 2 times, Lambert's Star Map, Harpoon Gun, Ovomorph, and Cereal Rations were brought in 1 time each. Up next we have the Hillbilly, who appeared 2 times, and the add-ons I've seen in these 2 games are Doom's Engraving was brought in 2 times, Dad's Boot, and Low Pro Chains were brought in 1 time each. Up next we have the Nurse, who appeared 2 times, and the add-ons I've seen in these 2 games are Fragile Wheeze, Bad Man's Last Breath, Catatonic Voice Treasure, Ataxic Respiration was brought in 1 time each. Up next we have the Hag, who appeared 2 times, and the add-ons I've seen in these 2 games are Grandma Heart, Dried Cicada, Dead Fly Mud, Rope Necklet were brought in 1 time each. Up next we have Freddy, who appeared 2 times, and the add-ons I've seen in these 2 games are Red Paintbrush, Pill Bottle, Green Dress, and Unicorn Block was brought in 1 time each. Up next we have Spirit, who appeared 2 times, and the add-ons I've seen in these 2 games are White Hair Ribbon, Mother-Daughter Ring, Yakayoki, Amulet, Rusty Flute were brought in 1 time each. Up next we have the Ghostface, who appeared 2 times, and the add-ons I've seen in these 2 games are Olsen's Address Book was brought in 2 times, Philly and Outdoor Security Camera was brought in 1 time each. Up next we have the Pyramid Head, who appeared 2 times, and the add-ons I've seen in these 2 games are Wax Doll, Burning Man Painting, Valtile Sect Photograph were brought in 1 time each, and 1 offering slot was empty. Up next we have the Dredge, who appeared 2 times, and the add-ons I've seen in these 2 games are Broken Doll and Malthinker's Skull were brought in 2 times each. Up next we have Leatherface, who appeared 1 time, and the add-ons I've seen in this 1 game are Chainsaw File and Spark Plug. Up next we have the Plague, who appeared 1 time, and the add-ons I've seen in this 1 game are Devotee Amulet and Black Incense. Up next we have the Gorgon, who appeared 1 time, and the add-ons I've seen in this 1 game are Barb's Glass and Rotten Green Tripe. Up next we have Pinhead, who appeared 1 time, and the add-ons I've seen in this 1 game are Torture Pillar and Skewered Rat. Up next we have the Artist, who appeared 1 time, and the add-ons I've seen in this 1 game are Garden of Wrath and Silver Bell. And lastly we have the Singularity, who appeared 1 time, and the add-ons I've seen in this 1 game are Broken Security Guard and Heavy Water. Now that we have the add-ons out of the way, I will talk about the maps and the realms. I will list all maps that appeared most, and after that list all realms that appeared most. So to begin with, the realms that appeared most are Coldwind Farm with 14 appearances, Autohaven Wreckers with 11 appearances, Macmillan Estate and Larry's Memorial with 8 each, Protus Pern Asylum with 7, Midwich with 6, Dead Dogs Alone, RPD and Eyrie of Crows with 5 each, Yamoka Estate, Ormond, Shattered Square and Toba Landing with 4 each, Gideon Meat Plant, Garden of Joy and Nostromo Wreckage with 3 each, Haddonfield and Springwood with 2 each, and Backswater and Red Forest with 1 each. As for maps, we got to see that out of the 14 Coldwind Farm matches we got, Rancid Abattoir and Rotten Field appeared mostly with 4 times each. As for the 11 maps for Autohaven, we got Gas Haven with 6 times. As for 8 maps for Macmillan, we got Suffocation Pit, Shelter Woods, and Groaning Storehouse appearing mostly with 2 times each. As for the 7 maps of Protus Pren Asylum, we got Father Campbell's Chapel, which appeared mostly with 4 times. As for the 5 maps for RPD, we got RPD East that appeared mostly 3 times. As for the 4 maps from Yamoka Estate, we got Family Resident and Sanctum of Wrath brought in equally 2 times. As for the 2 maps of Springwood, we got Badham Preschool 3 and 4. And as for Backwater, we got Pale Rose. As for Red Forest, we got Mother's Dwelling. So yeah, I guess this sums it up. As I'm recording this, I want to really thank everyone who did press on the video. This took a lot of time and brain power to do, even though I am running on 2 brain cells most of my days. And even though I know there is a lot of room to improve on with my editing and voice recordings, this took me over a month to finish. So I really want to thank everyone who did watch this. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you enjoy such content. It's free and it would help a ton. I will include this by saying I don't know why I do this to myself every year with such videos, but hey, I am enjoying them somehow. I will show a small clip from a match I had against an Onryo that had Rancor and then end the video. So again, I really want to thank you guys. Thank you and goodbye. Man, why do I feel like she's friendly?
I have that feeling, but I just can't tell.
She has Rancor, that's why!